First off, I'm very humbled to be up here talking to you all today. For a living, I'm a motivational speaker, and I speak to thousands of professional athletes, from the biggest names to the smallest names.
David fucking Goggins, ladies and gentlemen, one of the biggest legends in the motivational self-improvement game, almost a meme at this point. This is why I chose this video to review when I was recommended to review his speech. Today, we're going to review the quality of his leadership, the quality of his speaking, obviously the quality of his charisma. We're going to review him based on the 6 pillars of speaking that I teach my clients. If you want to have access to that, you can also check the link in the description. But we're also going to review certain details that I come up with on the spot. This is the first time I'm watching the full speech. Let's get it.
And when I saw Doc walk in, laughing.
Matter of fact, I already have certain comments. So watch how he begins.
First off, I'm very humbled to be up here talking to you all today.
First off, I'm very humbled to be up here. I'm very grateful. Notice how the greatest, most famous people in the world begin their speeches with humility. Why? Because when you are already up there in terms of skill, in terms of career, you know people will be subconsciously jealous of you because of the inferiority complex. I know we all wish this wasn't the case, but welcome to planet Earth. Humans are humans. The ego is the ego, which is why when you are the center of attention, when you are the superstar, it is always so important to equal that with humility, with gratitude, being like, thank you for the opportunity to be here today.
For a living, I'm a motivational speaker, and I speak to thousands of professional athletes, from the
social proof, very important. So of course, humility, but then also reminder of why you should listen to me. Now, little feedback for David Goggins, the obviously filler words, we want to avoid that.
Biggest names to the smallest names. And when I saw Doc walk in here with the Congressional Medal of Honor, this is the first time in my life I got nervous to speak in front of a crowd. That's how much I respect this man up here. I was reading about this man back in the day.
Okay, that's beautiful. That's another form of humility here. I am up there. I'm a motivational speaker speaking to thousands of professional athletes, but this is the first time I got nervous, meaning respect to you guys. We're here together. I'm not anything more special than you guys.
So I'd like to thank the VFW very much for giving me this award. It means more to me than anything I've ever received in my entire life. I'd like to thank my grandfather, Sergeant Jack Gardner, who is now deceased. This would be the happiest day of his entire life. I'd like to thank my mom up here, who
shit is about to make me cry now. You see all the moms starting to cry. This is too beautiful. This is too beautiful. One of the 6 pillars of speaking is congruency, which is the ability to tell personal stories, to make it personal and make it feel raw. And there's nothing more congruent than literally starting to cry talking about gratitude. So amazing. You know what's also so beautiful? A man at his level, like a symbol of discipline and of manhood and of strength, to open up like this, the contrast is beautiful. People love contrast, which is why everybody's applauding. Second round.
who never picked me up, who never picked me up when I fell. She taught me how to get up when I was knocked down. I thank my uncle for always being there for me. And I thank all of you out here who fought in these wars. You have no idea how big of a deal this is to me. I was not always this strong guy you see. I went through a lot of hard times in my life to get here today. And a story I'll tell you with real quick. I tried once to get in the Air Force to be an Air Force pararescueman. And I quit for fear of the water. I was 175 pounds. I left the Air Force 4 years later at 300 pounds. I went from 175 to 300 pounds. There's a long story in there on how that came to be.
This happens to me every time I review these videos. I am supposed to be the guy that pays attention to all these details. This is what this video is about. And yet I am human. And what I'm teaching you guys works on whoever is human, even the person teaching it. As soon as he started telling a personal story, I was captivated. I was in. I forgot to put pause as often as I usually do. I was captivating. All of this so far is on the point of congruency. Now, one of the other pillars that I would say is his weakest so far, again, this is a beautiful speech. I'm not expecting him to be perfect when it's something super emotional. Obviously, this is also the context. But when I review these speeches, I always try to keep it as objective as possible. The flow, that's a second pillar. I would say that's his weakest point. He pauses way too often, not at strategic times, and he uses a lot of filler words. This is why I would rate him pretty low. If he pauses are amazing. If he paused at the right moment, used less filler words, I say he's actually great with silence, which is a very rare skill. So let's see how he does for the other point.
But I sat around and read a book on the Medal of Honor. And those guys, all I wanted to be was an uncommon man. And my whole life, I was not that. Much worse than that. But I read stories about men like you, Doc, who had the courage to jump on grenades and stuff like that. So I came home one day from working at a job called Ecolab, where I sprayed for cockroaches. Made $1,000 a month, weighing 300 pounds. And I got home and I watched a show on Discovery Channel of guys carrying boats and logs, Navy SEAL training. And I decided to make a change in my life. And I called the recruiter up and he asked me these questions. You had to meet a certain age, like a certain height and weight limit. I was 6'1" and 300 pounds. He laughed at me. 7 other recruiters laughed at me. One recruiter finally said, "Come on in, I'm too busy to talk to you on the phone." He didn't know how much I weighed. I walked in the recruiter's office and he looked at me and he said, "You're fat and you're black." I said I want to be a Navy SEAL. I didn't know there had only been 35 African-American Navy SEALs at that time in over 70 years. He said I basically had to lose 106 pounds in less than 3 months because of my age. I was getting too old. I came back 3 months later, 106 pounds lighter. Thank you.
Whew. So another pillar is novelty. The quality of the ideas that someone shares. Are they original? Are they something we've never heard before? And when he started talking about how he got rejected by 7 recruiters, the other one laughed at him, said, "You're fat and you're black." It is definitely a story you hear very rarely. It's a very unique situation, which is why I would rate him very high on the quality of the ideas that he's sharing. This is very captivating. The clarity. Is it relatable? Is it understandable? He speaks in very normal language. And I would say the story that he shares is relatable to anyone who's ever been rejected. Not at this level, which is why, you know, the pillar of novelty is higher. That's the price to pay. It's not very relatable because it's very unique. But as soon as you can still understand it and relate to it emotionally, because we've all been rejected like this, then it's powerful.
And literally,
by the way, notice how everyone is, well, not everyone, but a lot of people are crying in the crowd. And those are all people that are veterans. They're strong people.
And literally, I spent 18 months going through BUDS, which is a 6-month program. Went through 3 hell weeks. That is where I met Marcus Luttrell, Danny Dietz, Michael Murphy, another Medal of Honor winner. I went through Hell Week with all these guys, real heroes. I am not a hero. I served with real heroes. And from there, I went on to raise over $2 million for the Special Operations Warrior Foundation. But
I am not a hero. I serve with heroes. Humility is beautiful. I love humility. I love humility. Charisma, that's another pillar. The ability to make people experience desire in your presence. This man, by saying this, just became so charismatic to me. I usually don't follow him that much. I don't look at his content that much because we're not really aligned in a lot of things. But when he said that, I just love humility so much, all of a sudden he became charismatic to me. This is why charisma is kind of niche. If you're charismatic to some people, you won't be charismatic to other people. But I would say humility tends to be charismatic to most people.
Operations Warrior Foundation. But I'm going to end you with this right here. I have the most respect I can possibly muster up for all of you in this room. I know what it takes to be a combat soldier, and I used to look for courage. I thought courage was a man who won the Medal of Honor. It is. But courage is a man who's willing to put those boots on every single day of his life to go out there and fight for this country where nobody even knows what the hell they're doing or where the hell they're at. You do it for the man beside you. Thank you.
You do it for the man beside you. Whew! Wow. Wow. I love that. It is a very powerful speech indeed. The last pillar is certainty. And I believe certainty is a state. It is how certain you are about what you're talking about. And definitely David Goggins is very certain. How can you not be when what he talks about, he practices what he preaches religiously, which is where certainty happens automatically. Like Hormozy says, confidence isn't a result of screaming affirmations in the mirror. It's by building an undeniable stack of proof that you are who you say you are. That's where certainty is coming from. So beautiful speech. Thank you for the recommendation. You guys let me know who should I review next. You can check out the cool link in the description as well. I will see you here very soon. Until then, much love. Be grateful. I love you. Peace.